Shalom. Call Halal, Yahawah by Yahawashi by Qadash. Double honors into the apostles, double honors into the elder bishops. Salutations to all my fellow laborers, doing this work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedom to do so now more so than ever. To the scattered elect that are scattered around the four corners of the earth, that be like unto the speckled bird, the Israelite foreigners. And to the Aquaf that are listening and learning, to you, I say Shalom. This is your brother Malcolm from the branch of the Great Millstone here in Chicago, coming at you with another lesson in truth. And the video we're about to do really has nothing to do with this never-ending conflict between, Ishmael and Edom over in the land of Israel. Ishmael being the Palestinians, which are not real Palestinians. The Philistines were Africans, so-called Hamites, and the Israelites were the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. So you have two imposters in the land fulfilling a prophecy in the scripture, which is why there's never going to be peace over there. The president in 1951 said on national TV, Abdul Gabal Nasser, he made the statement that there would never be peace in this land, for we could never accept you people, for you left here black and came back white. Who are you people? Referring to the Israeli citizens that are there today. All right. But meanwhile, there are other things going on. You have the, the big distraction of the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial was a huge distraction. But meanwhile, as a matter of fact, let me read the scripture first, and then show that video. This is Leviticus 18-21, and it reads, "And thou shalt not let any of thy seed pass through the fire to Molech, neither shalt thou profane the name of thy God. I am Yahawah." All right, and so we have these people here in America and around the world, the elite, which are mostly Edomites. You got the other heathen that are joined unto them as well. But these sacrifices with these children, with the adrenochrome and all that, and then they try to scoff at it and make jokes about it like it isn't true. But meanwhile, you got whole trials being done on the subject matter. And this got no television coverage whatsoever, because this will make all the Pizzagate deniers look stupid, and all the people who believe that Pizzagate was real, well, it would have gave them a victory. So here we go.
These children are not just kidnapped and in some cases bred by families as a cash crop. We have people in the United States of America that breed children in order to sell them. And when they are sold, they come without birth certificates, which means it's easier to kill them and have no one ask where they are. We're also importing children by the plane load. Again, children who have no documentation. It's not just child slavery or child sex abuse. It's also child torture, because you have adrenalized blood. You have the whole blood drinking ceremony of the satanic world. It's also the use of children for harvesting body organs. We'll have the Falun Gong testimony tomorrow.
So there you go. You can see this is an actual footage from an actual trial. All right, the ITNJ Judicial Commission of an inquiry into human trafficking and child sex abuse, because this really goes on. All right. And with all the alphabet lifestyles being taught and forced upon children in schools and in cartoons and in movies, the whole Disney thing with the scene that's really unnecessary for a movie that's supposed to be for children. There's no need for 4- and 5-year-olds to be introduced to sexual things. It really isn't. All right. But let me see. Let me play this video again, actually. No, let me read one other scripture and play that video one more time. Salakia. Like a commercial came on or something. Bear with me one moment. Oh, here we go. This is what I wanted. This is Jeremiah 32:35. And it reads, "And they built high places to Baal, which are in the valley of the sons of Hinnon, to cause their sons and their daughters to pass through the fire unto Molech, which I commend them not. Neither came it into my mind they should do this abomination and cause Judah to sin." All right. Now, of course, these scriptures are talking about the Israelites doing this wickedness, but what they learned, they had learned this wickedness from the heathens that they were joining unto round about. And those gods are still prayed to, and children and people are sacrificed to them still to this day via the elites of this present current evil world. All right. Here in America, those are two gods that the leaders in America very much do pray to and have sacrificed many people to, many children. All right. You know, even some of these wars are in a sense blood sacrifices. And a lot of these conflicts. Okay. Now let's go to another video.
Children are not just.
Not that one. And this one right here. Another court hearing. Things that are going on in the world that are affecting your everyday life.
The lady from Georgia is recognized for 1 minute. Thank you. Well, we don't agree on much these days here in Congress, but I know there's one thing we all agree on. We all agree that we really like guns. See, we're the special privileged elites. We're the ones in this chamber being protected by guns, while the American people don't have men and women with guns outside their homes. Of course, not at any gun-free school zone, they're not protected, nor at work. But here, Congress, the same Congress that's voting to send just millions and millions of dollars worth of guns to Ukraine so that they can defend themselves, is the same Congress working as hard as possible to take away the Second Amendment rights from Americans. You see, our job here is to protect rights like due process and the Second Amendment rights of Americans, not strip them away. Red flag gun laws violate Americans' due process rights, and this is the type of thing that we shouldn't be passing in this Congress, especially while we enjoy the very privileged elite special protection of guns. And a lady from Georgia.
So she made a very important point, because
1 minute.
let me pause that. Because it's very hypocritical to disarm one people while arming another. Okay, and it's not it's the mindset of the people and what the people are bombarded with, which is shaping their minds and make them do all this crazy wicked shit and all these demons that they conjure up and pray to, and subdue the minds of these people with via the cartoons and the movies and the video games and all the different things. You know, that's a commercial. Looked up and somebody was getting the shit slapped out of them. But let me read Revelation 6 and 4. Listening to her, and I thought, and that, that scripture popped in my mind, because these Edomites are want to disarm, and the other ones don't want to disarm, and they're actually going to go to war with the whole world and one another. They're going to, these Americans here in Babylon especially, are going to kill one another. All right. And this scripture proves it. It says, "And there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth." All right. "And that they should kill one another. And there was given unto him a great sword." So Esau's going to come down with that great wrath because he have but a little time left. But you got to remember, Esau is in opposition of one another. All right. You got Edomites that are for Jacob's rights because they believe that they need Jacob in order for this society to continue. All right. And then you got those who just want to annihilate Jacob. All right. They're just opposite, opposite ends, different wings of the same hateful bird, man. And they're going to go at it. All right. So a lot of these people that are prepping for the upcoming race war, all them people went out and bought guns when Obama went into office. But with all the food shortages and everything else is going on, they're turning on one another. Like there's a lot of crime being that are happening in rural places where only so-called white people live, and they're starting to prey on one another. Why? Because of the lack of bread, and that's prophesied to happen. So that sword is going to, the same sword that they bought to go kill, niggas and spiggers in the inner city. They want to kill, Pepe and Tyrone, Jerome and Pedro. They want to kill, or should I say murder? But they really gonna be, shooting up Bubba Bob and Billy Joe. They're gonna be killing each other. All right. Let's go back to that.
Well, we don't agree on much.
Let's pull up another video of the same chick. This chick puts up pretty good content. This itty bitty chick. I'm thinking that's she's talking about. She does that talking about the size of her breast. She's embraced the fact that she don't have. She's kind of funny.
Can someone tell me what is wrong with changing the age to 21 nationally to buy a gun? I'm glad you asked this question. Did you know that you only have to be 18 to enlist to fight for our country and possibly die? Did you know that 3 to 5-year-olds are considered mature enough to pick out their...
There was a whole song that came out in the 80s called 19. And it said the average soldier in Vietnam was 19 years old. All right. You can look it up. They used to play it in the mixes a lot, and then throughout the song they would be keep saying 19, 19, right now, and then they would have a person giving commentary on statistics of deaths in Vietnam. That was basically what the whole song was about. All right. So,
gender, but 18-year-olds aren't capable to be able to own a gun and defend themselves if need be.
So let's take that back.
Someone tell me what is wrong with changing the age to 21 nationally to buy a gun. I'm glad you asked this question. Did you know that you only have to be 18 to enlist to fight for our country and possibly die? Did you know that 3 to 5-year-olds are considered mature enough to pick out their gender?
Exactly.
But 18-year-olds aren't capable to be able to own a gun and defend themselves if need be.
Yeah, that's retarded.
Do you see how stupid that is?
Yes, I do.
Did you know that an 18-year-old can own a car and drive it into a group of people and kill them, or own a knife and stab someone, but they can't own a gun to defend themselves? I'm guessing you have never thought about these kind of things, so I hope this helps. Can someone tell me what is wrong?
So,
with changing
what she
the age to
said
21?
made an incredible amount of sense. It really did. It made an incredible amount of sense. And I probably will do a video, by the way, on this turmoil. That's the name of the video. Is turmoil in Israel in turmoil again, because they had some sort of parade where the Edomites marched through the Ishmaelites' territory, waving their Israeli flags, and it sparked up this conflict again. But let's talk about unrighteous decrees, because this is these laws that they're passing are not going to stop people from dying and being shot. However, one thing is guaranteed to do is to get a lot of people locked up and called off at a young age, especially people of color, prison complex, you know, which is big business here in America. This private prison thing. And this is and that is an unrighteous decree to where you can say that you know, a 3 and a 4-year-old are old enough to make sexual gender decisions, but an 18-year-old can't be responsible, can't be taught to be responsible. You know, I went right into the Marine Corps after high school, opting out of college. I could have gone. I got accepted at Northwestern. All right. But I decided I didn't want to go to school right away. I just didn't want to do it. I wanted to, you know, see the world and whatever. But I was immersed into a lifestyle of weapons at 18. And you know, I didn't go out and shoot up and kill a whole bunch of people, and neither did anybody that I ever met. All right. So, but this is Isaiah 10:1, and even the commercial is about survival. That's a commercial about solar generators and things of that nature. It's getting real out here. This is Isaiah 10:1. I'm gonna read through verse 2, and it says, "Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees and that write grievousness which they have prescribed, to turn aside the needy from judgment and to take away the right from the poor of my people, that widows shall be their prey, and that they may rob the fatherless." Yeah. And so these unrighteous decrees are going to get pushed forth, and the people are going to suffer as a result of it. All right. From these hypocrites. Matter of fact, let me jump down to verse 6. "And I will send him against the hypocritical nation, and against the people of my wrath will I give him a charge to take spoil and to take prey and to tread them down like the mire of the streets." All right. So you're just going to have you know, these people are just complete and total hypocrites, man. But the Lord is going to come against it. All right. They're gonna come against the Lord. The Lord is going to come against all this wickedness. He already is. If you know, the things are set in motion, man. Judgments are going out, and they're going to get a hell of a lot worse. They really are. All right, because and Esau's trying to protect himself by passing more and more, you know, unlawful, unrighteous decrees. All right. As a matter of fact, that brings to mind this next video about the Fourth Amendment being done away with, because the Second Amendment is the one that they really want, right? And guess what? The Fourth and the Second kind of go together. And you're going to find out here, this is a serious unrighteous decree. Because why? Because they're preparing for World War II. But I don't want to go too far into it, because, you know, I got to use a lot of these other videos that I have stored up for future lessons. But we'll go ahead and touch on this one. But what is this unrighteous decree that has been passed as of lately gives the American agencies the right to go into your house with the unlawful search and seizure of property if you live within 100 miles of the border of America. All right. And so I'm going to allow that to be explained. And then the dangers in that, because, you know, your documents, your papers, your firearms, whatever you may have, they can just illegally search and just take all your stuff from you. All right. Because you have no rights if you live within 100 miles of the border. So if you live in New York on the East Coast, if you're within 100 miles of the water, same thing if you live south, the same thing as you live north. If you live up in like Washington State, one of those, or like in the top of in Michigan, you know, one of those northern states toward the top. If you're within 100 miles of the border, you know, Wyoming, those type states. If you're within 100 miles of the border, they can come get your stuff, man. So here we go.
Supreme Court rules that Constitution does not apply to 60% of U.S. population. OK's warrantless assault and home invasion by armed agents. So our Fourth Amendment means nothing now.
Right.
Federal agents are now allowed to physically assault you with impunity if you live
and I keep telling you people that the Constitution is being done away with. All right. She talked about due process in the last video. Due process is misused and abused every day in law. As a matter of fact, anybody who's a victim of Title 4D, what you would ignorantly call child support, Title 4D operates outside of the law. and one of the main things that they violate, Title 4D is enforced by going around due process. All right, because if due process was actually given, a lot of people that are on child support wouldn't be on it. But they avoid the due process, the portion of it where they're supposed to determine if you can or are able to pay or how much you're able to pay. They bypass that portion, which means that they're going around the due process. And that's just one of the things that's wrong with it. All right, because they just to give you an example, let's say if a guy makes 60 grand, they automatically, or if he makes 30 grand, it doesn't matter. They just automatically take a certain percentage off the top. And the due process portion is you're supposed to be brought into the court, and all your existing responsibilities are supposed to be measured. And then they determine what you're going to pay, or if you can even afford to pay. That portion is completely ignored. It's a cash crop. It's the jewel of and that's just one of many things that they do. That's just happened to be probably the biggest money maker in America right there. But let's let her continue.
100 miles of a coast or border in the United States, thanks to yesterday's Supreme Court ruling. The 6 conservative justices ruled in favor of the federal agent who violated the inn owner's Fourth Amendment, while the 3 non-consecutive justices ruled against the agent. This is the case. Pause and read.
Pause and read.
Why are conservative justices protective of their fantasy interpretation of the Second Amendment, which says that well-regulated militia's right to bear arms shall not be abridged, but happy to ignore the Fourth Amendment, which says the right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated? This is the new map.
You see that?
You live in the yellow. You now don't have a Fourth Amendment right.
That's heavy, man. And I always tell you, click back to the Israelis, same thing, same Edomites in courts making unrighteous decrees. Beware of men with bald faces and they wear neckties. They are most dangerous people on the face of the earth. All right, let's read that again. Let's go back to Isaiah and we'll close it out. This is Isaiah 10:1. And it reads, woe to them that decree unrighteous decrees and that write grievousness which they have prescribed, to turn aside the needy from judgment and to take away the right of the poor of my people, that the widows may be their prey and that they may rob the fatherless. Look at this bald man with the necktie. The necktie is a phallic symbol, so literally it's a penis hanging from his neck. So with that, I'm going to give all praises, all honor and glory unto Yahawah, by Hashem, Yahawashi, by Hashem, Qadash, Wa Abba, Babal, Kwam, Yasharala, Shalom.